Now let's cross to SABC News reporter Jayed-Leigh Paulse. She's at the court. She joins us now live. A very good morning to you, Jayed-Leigh. Quite a lengthy break. What can we expect today?
Well, a very good morning from Port Elizabeth High Court, but from PE as well. We're expecting 80% rain, but I can tell you this has not deterred many of Pastor Timothy Omotoso's congregants from coming through and, throwing their support behind the man of God, or who they say is the man of God. I'm just going to step out of shot and show you some of the people who have arrived for court proceedings. It is expected to start promptly at 9:30. We saw a small group of Jesus Dominion International Church members wearing their regalia, T-shirts in support of Timothy Omotoso, saying that he should be a free man. He did not commit these crimes. And we also saw several of, some of the family members of Timothy Omotoso as well arriving. Taiwo Omotoso, Timothy Omotoso's wife, has just arrived as well, and she will be taking her seat inside courtroom A, where it is expected that Timothy Omotoso and his co-accused Lusanda Solani and Zukiswa Sito will take their seats. But just to give you some background to the case, it has been a lengthy trial. It started in July, de novo again, and we saw many applications being brought by Peter Daubermann, that's the defense's legal team, and it's all surrounding the jurisdiction of the Port Elizabeth High Court. Has the PE High Court got the jurisdiction, or do they have authority to hear all of the charges? You would know the trio are facing 97 charges, but the defense team have come out strongly saying that the charges on the indictment should not be heard in this particular court, citing that several of the alleged atrocities actually occurred elsewhere in the country that has been placed on the indictment, and saying that the Port Elizabeth High Court can only hear 7 of those 97 charges in this court. So we've seen a lot of back and forth between the state prosecutor Nceba Ntelwa as well as defense lawyer Peter Daubermann, fighting out the centralization of the charges, whether the court should hear all the charges or whether the trial should be heard in various other courts throughout the country that bring in Secunda, in the Western Cape, in KwaZulu-Natal, and then we also see some of the charges also on the indictment appearing to have occurred overseas in Israel as well. So that has been taking the bulk of this trial, whether the Port Elizabeth High Court has the jurisdiction, and we've seen several applications being brought by the defense team opposing that. Now, in the last court appearance, we saw Judge Irma Schoeman, dismissing that application, saying that the charge sheet is sufficient. This Port Elizabeth High Court has the authority to hear all those charges, and that's when defense lawyer Peter Daubermann said that he would be petitioning to the Supreme Court of Appeal. So today we're expecting the SCA to give their verdict on the matter, and whether the Port Elizabeth High Court will in fact have the authority and whether it falls in this jurisdiction to hear the charges on the indictment.
Jayed-Leigh, what do we know about the witnesses so far?
Well, when Cheryl Zondi took to the stand, there were rumblings that several other witnesses would then also come to the fore. There were talks about the Idols twins. You'll remember they came out 2 years ago also citing that they were, allegedly molested by Timothy Omotoso, but now it really has been quiet. Speaking to the state prosecutor Nceba Ntelwa, he said that they wanted to first finalize all the applications that the defense team has lodged against them, and also iron out whether this high court has the jurisdiction. And once that has been ironed out, I suppose we'll then see the witnesses taking to the stand. I do know that they are in custody at the moment, or rather in witness protection, They are in witness protection, and speaking to the state prosecutor, he has said to me that he does not want to give a lot of information to the media houses as well as information to several of the people that are working in this case, because it has been a very publicized case, and as you would know, several of those witnesses have come out, like Cheryl Zondi, saying that they have been victimized by the Jesus Dominion International Church members. So it's been very tight-lipped with regards to who exactly exactly will take to the stand and who exactly will be giving their evidence in the next court hearing after all the applications have been dealt with. But very tight-lipped on the state side who the next victim or witness would be, rather.
There was always a misunderstanding about whether media is allowed in or not. Are we going to be able to take the proceedings live?
Well, I think that's the bone of contention now with most of the media houses. Several of them are also saying that, you know what, this trial is in the public domain. There are many people around the country that are very interested in the Timothy Omotoso trial, and that it will be an injustice not to have the media inside court. However, I do know that there are several applications that have been brought by several media houses, including the SABC, to get our cameras into court. As it stands now, that is sitting with Judge Irma Schoeman, and I suppose she will have to apply her mind with regards to whether the media will be inside court. You would know, if you have been following this trial, that the media have played a very integral part in the Timothy Omotoso case, looking at the last judge that sat in on the proceedings, Judge Mandela Makahula. The media then again were the first on the story with regards to the judge housing a particular B&B where witnesses were staying, and I suppose this all became very complicated and very complex for the judiciary, but as well as the case itself. So really being very careful with regards to should the media be in or should the media be outside of court and just report the proceedings. We are, however, allowed to tweet inside court and take photos. Unfortunately, our cameras are not allowed as yet.
Well, we will await that update as soon as proceedings begin. Thank you so much, Jayed-Leigh Paulse, coming to us from outside.